Whoops, daisy. I'm having trouble with my tripod. Good morning to you. Hello, it's Kate Bolt, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. I'm back for another Fun Friday live paper crafting session, and I'm very glad it's Friday. I don't know about you guys. How are you? I hope you're very, very well. Right, I'm just going to grab my laptop out and see where we are. Let's just check everything's set up correctly. I have a bit of fun this morning. I'm quite excited. Let's turn that one off and have a look at where we are. Make sure I'm live in the right place. I've got this gorgeous new stamp set to play with today. Lots of fun with this. Yeah, there we are. Let's just make sure. There we are. So if anybody joins me, I can see. Oh, I'm just having a look at my live and where I flicked my tripod. I do apologise. Oh, hi Sherry. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad it's Friday. It's been a long week. I think it's the weather here. It's cold and it's still wintry. So, yeah. Feels like it's been a long winter and it hasn't really, we're not even halfway there yet, are we? I'm not sure. Anyway, I have the Queen Bee stamp set. So my big brown box delivery came at the beginning of the week with this stamp set in, which has been my favourite in the whole of this new catalogue since I saw it on stage. Now, I think we could have ordered this. I can't remember if this was on our pre-order when we went on stage or not. Maybe not, but it was in the pre-order, but not the dies. So I waited and I've got the dies with it because the bundle's cheaper and I love it. I think it's my favourite. Is it damp and dreary there? Honestly, I shouldn't be complaining because whilst it's really, really cold here, the sun has come out again today. We're getting some sun, which is a blessed blessing because we had wet, watery weather for weeks and our river levels are just hugely high. The lake where I live is so high, the walkways are cut off, and we had so much cloud for so long. So I should not be complaining, really, should I? Because it's beautiful now with the sun. So where are you? I'm looking in the mini catalogue to see where the bee is. Damp there, yes. I thought that's what you meant, Sherry. Damp. We don't need it damp. Right, let me have a look for the bees. I am loving this catalogue, I have to tell you. This is one of my favourite sweets, the By the Bay. But let's find the bee. Here it is, so you can see it in all its beautiful glory. Lots of ideas in there too. On page 26 of the January to April mini catalogue, the Queen Bee bundle. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, yeah, and if you get the bundle, you save 10%. And it also, during this month in February, qualifies you for a celebration goodie, a free one. See, these stamps are beautiful, aren't they? Did you say you had 3 days of sun last week? Oh, but that's it for the last month or so. I can relate. It's been like that here. Aren't these bees beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to do a class on this next month. Absolutely beautiful. I think it's going to be very, very easy to play with. So I thought I would start playing with it today for Fun Friday. And I have experimented a little bit and had a bit of fun with it. Do you like the bees? Now, I know we've had a couple of bee sets before, but this one's different. I feel like the dies have got so much more in it. I love this bee with all the flowers. I like this background stamp. You like the detail on the bee too, on the wings. Me too. And I've been playing and playing and playing today. So I eventually thought I would go with a very vanilla card base. I thought that was a funny hair on my grid paper. It's just a mark. So I have got a very vanilla A4 scored and cut in half card base. So for the UK metric, we score it at 10.5 and cut it at 14.8, and then that's in half. But whatever your card stock is, score it and cut it in half. Okay. Now I've got to remember what I'm doing with this one. So I went for Mango Melody because I thought this reminds me of sunshine and summer. Oh, I sound like Olaf. It reminds me of sunshine and summer and yeah, all the warmth. and bees. So that's why I went for it. Now I cut this cardstock and my trimmer blade needed replacing, look. And I thought, because it had been fine, I've had it in there a long time. I thought, oh, it's the cardstock. And then I realised, no, it's not, it's my blade. So I've replaced it now. Okay, and then I've got a layer here, just slightly smaller. So these two fit nicely on. So if you need to know, this one is 10 by 14.3 centimetres. And this one is slightly smaller again, 9.5 by 13.8 centimetres. And that's Very Vanilla and Mango Melody I've gone with. Okay, and then I had some fun. So I need some more Very Vanilla for stamping. Let's grab that out. I've got a whole pack of it here, and I don't have any scraps to hand. So we're going to get a huge new sheet out for some stamping. That's a bit extravagant, isn't it? There we go. How exciting. All right, I'll put my layers just there. And I'm going to grab out the stamp. Now, I've already got the stamp here on the block, but I think I'll give it a clean, because I was playing with it just now with a completely different colour on there. Morning, Hazel. How are you? Thank you for joining us today. What's the weather like with you, Hazel? We've been chatting weather. So let's grab the bee out. Now, I am going to stamp it in Memento Basic Black. And it stamps really well. Here we go. So make sure it's really inked up. And I'm going to stamp it up here. There we go. Like so. Okay, so we've got our bee. How beautiful. Sorry about that noise of my block. How beautiful is that image? It's gorgeous. Look at the flowers on the body and the wings. It's cold and dry where you are, but you've not been out. But you've got to go out to work soon. You're having a chilled out morning. That sounds really sensible to me. Have a chilled out morning. I was out on the school run quite early. It was quite cold. It was cold. I can't remember what the temperature on my car actually said, but it was very cold. Now there's a flower spray in this stamp set, and I'm going to do the same. Ink that up in Memento Black and stamp that one. So just stamping black onto vanilla. And I brought in some of my blends. I've just got two colours, and I have gone for the dark Mango Melody and the light Old Olive. So I've gone for a nice colour that matches my layer, and then I've gone for a green. And I'm going to colour in. Do a little bit of colouring in. So I'm going to colour in the heart here. And then you'll see how effective this is to colour in the flowers on the bee, like so. It's really good. It makes it pop. You could leave it, you don't have to colour them in. But I tried it with and I tried it without, and I really like the colour. So here we go. So that's how I was colouring in the wings. Let's do that one here. And there's a little one here that I keep missing out. And then I'm going to come in with the light Old Olive. Hi, Sam. You're watching and compiling your next order, and you're looking forward to seeing what you do with the bees. I'm playing with it this morning, and then I think it's February. I've got another class next week, and I'm deciding whether I should be using bees or elephants. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be elephants, and the bees are going to be a class in February. So I think there's a lot you can do with both the bees and the elephants, but I think there's an awful lot of kind of different styles you can create with the bees, and I'm excited. So I'm just going in with the Old Olive, picking out the leaf detail like that, and there's lots of little leaves if you look, and then there's some empty space in between. There's a couple of leaves on these ones at the ends. and here and here. Okay, so that's how I coloured in the bee, and I've done one already, because you could stop and watch me colouring in the entire day and that would be a bit dull. And then I coloured the flowers in as usual, the same way. I'm not doing any blending. The images are really tiny, the spaces to colour, so there's no need to blend, but you can if you want. Use your light and dark shades, but I'm just using the dark here. So I'm going in all around where the flower petals are, and I'm just colouring them in. You don't have to be very spectacular at colouring. And then going in with the leaves as well. So, oh, I'm using the thin end because it's such a small gap to use. Like this. Okay, and just gently fill that in and you'll be able to see the green come through. Like that. And then I've done some already, so you don't have to sit and watch me colour all morning. I've got some on a piece. I've coloured them in exactly the same. That's what they look like when they're all coloured. And then I'm going to pop them through my die cutting machine because I'm going to use the matching dies. Let me show you them. They're fantastic because there's lots of extra dies in them, which I got really excited about. So we've got our bee. So you could obviously cut out a solid bee, vellum or whatever, but you can cut out your stamped image. You've got this one. Okay, cuts out the flowers. We've got fantastic label. I'm very excited about that label. That will cut out your sentiment. We've got this standalone one, which you can make wreaths or sprays with. You've got a little honeycomb one. You've got two flowers, a larger and a small, and they emboss. They cut and emboss the flowers. I've cut some of those out already. Here they are. I'll show you. Here's you can see how it kind of embosses the flower. Leave those all together or lose it. Okay, so these are another set of wings. These would be lovely in vellum, wouldn't they? Another leaf spray, another bee that you can layer up, and a heart. I showed you the honeycomb. And then for the stamp set, we obviously have the bee. We've got this one, but then we have this one that cuts out this bee with the flower in the middle. We have this one cuts out this flower here. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Because we've got this one, we've got this one, we've got this one, and we've got this one, and then we've got all these standalone. Oh, and the crown, because she's a queen. She's a queen bee, and there's the crown die. So cool. So cool. I'm very excited about these dies. Like them a lot. Right, so I'm going to pop these through my cut and emboss machine, which is right next to me. But the only problem is my dog is also right next to me under my feet. Bless him. He's a little sausage. Right, let's pop these through. Cut them out. Right, I'm just lining it up to cut out. Holding my breath so I get it right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring in a little bit of washi tape, I think. I'm climbing across the dog. I should bring in my little mini, shouldn't I? I wonder if that'll fit through there. It probably will. Right, a little bit of washi. Let's have a looky look. Oh, goodness. You see these holes? These are really useful holes because they're not just for popping the die out. If you match them up with the shape, it means you've got it right. So I can see the legs through the holes, and that means that I've got it where I want it to be. I'm gonna, do I know where my plates are for my mini? They're probably stacked up there. No, I put them away. Never mind, let's put it through the other one. Because I took it out and about and I was using the mini. So I put the plates somewhere. How stupid. Probably thought I was being really organised as well. Okay. There's our bee. Okay, and then we're going to put this one on here. This flower sprig is really nice. And of course, you can have it any colour way you want. I've matched up my flowers in Mango Melody with a bee. Right, just make sure you've got it lined up. Sometimes I will stamp and die cut my image before I colour it in, just in case I don't cut it out very well. Here we go. I've got a class on Sunday. I'm really looking forward to that. An in-person class. And I'm using the By the Bay suite. So I've got lots of lovely projects ready. Okay, so we have got our bee and I have got my spray of flowers. Now, I'm going to have a bit of fun with some ink splattering. I like to make a mess. I've got an old piece of grid paper because that's going to protect from some of the spray. I've got my piece of very vanilla that goes on the top. Then I need a block. Let's grab a block. There's going to be a lot of inkiness going on. Oh, this one will do. It doesn't really matter which block. It's got my block. And I did bring a water painter back in. Where is it? How annoying. I washed it. Oh, here it is, because I brought some kitchen roll in with it. Right, okay. I had been using mint macaron and I don't want that, so let's give that a clean. There we go. So just, if you want to clean your brush, you just push the water through it or rinse it under the tap. Okay, so I've got my brush, I've got my acrylic block, and I've got some re-inkers, and I have got pumpkin pie. I've got a bit of rich raspberry, and I think I've gone for Mango Melody, which ties in those colours. So I think I'm going to go with Mango Melody first, and I'm just going to put a drop or two on my block. That's all I need. Oh, Sam, you've added the bundle to your list. I'm not surprised. It's a great bundle. I love it. You're going to really enjoy playing with it. Okay, I'm going to put it up that way because that's the way my card's going to go. And I need... Oh, what colour was that then? Was that the Mango Melody? Ooh, yeah, I think so. I don't know. That was pumpkin pie. Make sure I know what I'm doing. Mango Melody. Because you see when they're really concentrated like that, they look very similar, don't they? I'm getting it everywhere. There we are. So if you're playing around with re-inkers, it's always really useful to have some baby wipes, some kitchen rolls, something like that on hand. A little tiny bit of rich raspberry. Okay. This is the fun part. Now I am going to go with, I think I'm going to go with the Mango Melody first. I'm pushing a tiny bit of water through. I don't want to dilute it too much. I want it actually quite colourful, and I don't want it too wet. I'm actually going to take some of that water off my brush. Right, here we go. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to spatter it, and I'm just going to do it on the back of my hand like this. So I get this splatter effect. Can you see that? I don't know what you can see, but yeah. And a little bit at the top. And I'm trying to make it go across the page, across the sheet of cardstock. Now I'm just cleaning off my brush, and I'm going to go in with the pumpkin pie, which is a much stronger colour actually. And I'm going to add some of that Actually, you can see where I haven't put any water through. It's not, there we go. Oh yes, look at that. Give it a good old tap. I like this kind of grungy. Grunge is too strong a word for what I'm doing, but this kind of distressedy look, if you like. Then I'm coming in with the last one, which is this really vibrant, can you see this really vibrant colour? This, like, if I paint it, you can see it. Rich raspberry. And I just want a little bit, I don't know, you can't really control it that well, so you just got to go for it. I am going to be covering some of it up though, so that's good. Okay, just clean it off, push it through, clean it off. I am going to be using this again later, as you see, for a different colour. There we are. So I can put this out of the way before I stick my arm in it. There we are. No, you're not going to believe it. I've got ink everywhere. See what I stamped earlier on? Look at that. And it's way over across the other side of the table. So watch out for that. You might want to protect your table a little bit more than I did. How funny. Okay, so we've got our nice streaks of splatter. It's nothing that's not going to be removed, so don't worry. It's all good. Yes. Right, so I've got that going on. I've got this. And I've got this. And I've got my bee. So the next thing next. My bee here. I am going to use, there's a word stamp in here. I can't remember what colour I used last time, so I need to give that a clean, because I've been playing with it this morning with different colours. So I am going to stamp it, but it's not going to be in black. I'm going to just take some of the harshness away there. And I'm going with soft suede. So a nice brown colour. I'm going to kind of work out where things are going to go. You see, it didn't matter. I had a lot of rich raspberry there because I'm covering some of it up, and we'll just put it wherever we want when the time is right. But I want to see where my bee is. Okay. My bee is going to come about here. So I am going to stamp here and here so I can partially see the words. And it's just a really kind of distressed stamp. And it says garden, bee, flower, bloom, life, miracles, honey, gather, spring and grow. It says all the way through there. So you'll see when I put my bee on, it kind of covers it up a bit, which is fine. That's what I want. So I'm then going to bring it down here as well. Like that. And that kind of shows where my bee's going to go. Like this. Okay. Lots of kind of distressedy looking stuff. Right, now I have got the label. I need a scrap of vanilla. Well, considering I just splattered all of my vanilla, that will do nicely. Brilliant, eh? Okay, so I am going to stamp on here. Now we've got happy and we've got birthday. They're two separate stamps. And I've worked out that if I die cut this, I can fit happy birthday on. But I really have to die cut it first, I think, to make sure that it'll fit, because it's quite a squeeze. So I'm going to just take a bit of this off. Do I want it splattery? No, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to cut it out. Right, keep that there. And I'm going to die cut this one. That's so funny. I've got it across the room. Nice little label. Look at this. It's so nice. I like that label. I think that's going to be useful with some other sets as well. I like to mix and match my label dies. So I'm going to go in with a happy birthday. And I brought in the matching ink pad. So I brought in rich raspberry that goes with some of that splattering that we did. And I am going to do happy at the top. You like the splatter? Thank you, Sherry. Oh, that's funny, Sam, that your funny emoji that you put on there. That's it, right. Okay, so you can see that it can be a bit of a squeeze. So I am going to put my happy at the top, make sure it's in the middle. It's a bit difficult when I'm doing it on camera because I've literally got to have my head in the camera, so it may not be straight. I'm sure yours will be. That's not bad. Happy. And then birthday. The splatters, do you know, they're obviously different every time because there's no control over it, but they always look effective, don't they? Doesn't really matter that it's not contrived, you just go for it, which I like. We like easy. And then birthday, it's going to go underneath. I'm going to make sure I've got enough room. And they are the same size words. Yay! So we've got happy birthday. Now I thought I'd take my hole punch to mine. Where did I put it? There it is. I'm going to grab it. I have the old hole punch. It's retired now. I use it all the time though. I'm sure you can get one anywhere. It's just a little hole punch. And where these little round bits are, I am going to punch a hole. Like so. Just by eye. You don't have to measure anything. It'll be fine. So I've got my holes. And then I want some ribbon. So, excuse me. Where is it? Oh, I see my mini Stampin' Up cut and emboss plates there right next to the machine. See, I am more organised than I thought. Right. I have got this white ribbon. You may have seen me using it in the past because it's very useful because you can colour it any colour you like. This is called the Crinkled Seam Binding Ribbon in white. Okay. And I'm going to grab out, I've got my rich raspberry marker. Have I got it in the dark? Hang on, let me just check. Yeah, I'm going to use the dark one. And I am going to colour a length of it and it's going to go on our card. So on the fat end, on the brush tip end, just colour it. And you see it'll soak through to the other side. Perfecto. This is a great ribbon to keep in your stash. It's great for any card because you can colour it any colour you like. Also classes, so if you want to do something you don't have the right colour or they don't get produced the right colour, you can make it. So add your colour to a length of it and then we're going to work out how much we need. And then we can carry on colouring it if we don't have enough. Okay, so I have got this one. And I'm going to work out where everything's going to go. So I'm going to pop it here. It's kind of go on the bottom of my flower. It's going to go there. I haven't stuck anything down yet, but I'm going to put my sentiment on. So I think what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to pop it through the front hole. My hands are not this colour. They are just covered in ink. You know you've had a good time when your hands are inky. Okay, so it's going to go through the back. Going to pull it through like that. It's going to go here. And it's going to come round. But Let's see, I'm going to tie a bow. So I think like that, and I'm going to carry on colouring that piece. So I have enough. Yes. So it's Friday, guys. Have you got anything exciting planned for the weekend? I'd love to know. We've got I've got usual mum taxi jobs on Saturday and bits and pieces. And then I have a bit extra. And then on Sunday I'm holding my class during the day. Very exciting. I get to see all my lovely ladies and we get to make stuff, eat cake. All of the above. It's going to be fun. Okay, let's chop the end off. These are not my ribbon scissors. Here they are. I'll keep them out because I shall want them. Let's move that ribbon out of the way. Okay, here we go. Now, I think what I'm going to do is just stick that happy birthday down. Stop it floating about quite so much. And I've got a bit of dimensional stuff left here. Do you use the ends? I hope you do. I'm just going to put it, and it'll help actually because it'll help stick that ribbon in place and stop it migrating about, and it will stick your panel down. Yeah, when I saw this, I thought, oh, those like lumpy ends on that die shape, these pieces, they are begging to be used with a hole and a ribbon. Am I the only one who thinks about things like that? I hope not. So let's get off there. Ooh. Now I know that I'm going to try and stick my stems in there as well. Let's pop that on there. These stems are going to go on here, and they kind of do. So that's good. Right, let's make sure it's straight. That would be quite useful. Like so. And then we're just going to tie a bow. This is a lot, isn't it, this card? I mean, it's not a lot, but when you're recording it or going live, it takes a long time with some of these cards, because you probably whip it together. Wouldn't take you long. Are you still bearing with me? I hope you are. Such a nice thing to do on a Friday morning. A little bit of crafting before lunch. Yeah. So there we go. Just tighten that bow up. Keep tightening it up. There we go. I think that's nice. Ribbon, scissors, you're there. There we go. Just a bit too long. There we are. That's better. Put my pens in one place. I'll be looking for them and I'll be asking you where everything is. Okay, so this is going to go in here. And then my bee is going to go here. Right, let's pop this down. I'm going to just use Tombow. I'm not going to pop the flowers up. I think I'm just going to... I did on my original, I believe. I'll show you that in a minute. But I'm just going to stick it flat. Happy with that. Got rather a lot of glue. And I'm going to put it back so I can see this nice splodge there. I might be covering it up now, though. A little bit, not too bad. Now I'm going to bring in my dimensional foam pads again. Have I got any? Yes. Here we go. Put a few on. I'll put one on each wing and then two on his body. her body. She's the queen bee, isn't she? I'll have her flying like that. So I do apologise. I'm having problems with our internet. We had the super fast broadband put in, and ironically, since then we seem to have issues. I'm not sure if it's to do with our router or what, but yeah, it's a bit ironic, really, isn't it? I do apologise. I don't know. We try to get the best kind of combination. Right, let's put birthday in. Birthday, and then clean that stamp and put happy in. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, take a little bit more time over yours and don't have your happy birthday skew-if inside. But there we go. Let's put that one on the front and we will have finished our first card. I do love these bees. And I've got another one for you, if you have the patience. So I really like the idea of splattering some ink there. I think it makes it kind of look a bit, I don't know, summery. I don't know what the word is. It gives it a summery vibe. I like a bit of ink techniques, and sometimes just a plain bit of ink splattering with a water painter and your ink refills does the trick. I love this background stamp, and I've done it in a slightly lighter shade, so it's not so harsh. So this is done in soft suede. I have used Mango Melody Rich Razzleberry. That's it really, and then a little bit of soft suede here, and I've used the Old Olive colouring it. Hope you like my first card today with the Queen Bee stamp set. Let me show you my original, which is very similar. Now this one's slightly different in the fact that when I started making the card, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, and I thought I might watercolour. So this is the shimmery white cardstock rather than just white. But actually it doesn't look hugely different, except for my ink spatters are a little bit in a different place and it's a slightly lighter shade. I do prefer it than the white here, which is quite stark. Do you see what I mean? The regular basic white is quite stark, so I went with the very vanilla when I reproduced it. But that's our first card. Hope you like that bee. Let me know. Let me know you're still with me, because I had an internet issue. I'd love to know. Okay, so that's my first one. I'm going to have a bit more inky fun with our next one. So I have gone some different colours entirely. I have gone white. So I have got a thick basic white card base. That is A4 again, scored in half and cut in half, the same sizes as the first card. My layer is the same. My layers are the same as well. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Oh, you're still there. Thank you, Sam, for letting me know, because I couldn't work out what would happen. But thank you so much. Okay, we're going to have a bit of fun with this one. And I am going to do a bit more inky fun. So I've got my white piece, and I'll show you what I did. I wanted to create a wall for my bee to fly onto, a brick wall. So I've used the brick 3D embossing folder, and I wanted to use these colours. I wanted mint macaron and blushing bride and white. So I've got the blushing bride and I've got the white and the mint macaron. So I wanted to create this wall. However, when I made it, I wasn't actually as happy with it as I felt I should be. I wanted it lighter. So I used ink on it, extra ink. I used ink on it, which is what I'd intended to do, but I wanted it lighter. So I'll show you what I did instead. I still used the the brick 3D embossing folder. Instead of using mint macaron, I went for plain basic white. I'm going to pop that through with the embossing folder now. I'll show you that one. It's this one. It's the brick. There we go. The brick 3D embossing folder. It's super useful. You can use it with so many different stamp sets. My card's portrait, so I'm going to pop it in the embossing folder that way so the bricks are going downwards. I'm going to pop it in my machine. Now the only sandwich you need in the machine is this. You just need the embossing plate and the 3D embossing folder. So I'll move everything else out. Pop it in. There we go. Through it comes. Always makes a bit of an old racket. God, you should see the mess with all that ink splattering that I made. I don't know why. When I did it earlier, I obviously wasn't as enthusiastic. Yeah, so that's that. And I'll get another block because I want to show you how I did it. I'll have it here. Oops. So let's grab another block. A bit more ink going on. Right. So I went for mint macaron re-inker and the Whisper White one, the one that you fill your white ink pad with. And so I think I would put a bit of white. Now this is really thick. You really have to kind of squeeze it out. That's quite normal, don't worry. A bit of white. And then a couple of drops of this one. And when I did it, I actually added more white in because I wanted it really pale. Right, so I'm going to mix it together with my paintbrush off my water painter. I'm just using it as a mixer. Get a really nice light, very light mint macaron. I wanted my wall kind of distressed. Shabby chic wall. I don't know if you know what I mean by that. It's not really shabby chic, but that's the idea, these kind of colours that you would get. So that's quite good actually, but I might just stick a bit more white in there. You could have great fun just adding in bits of colour till you get what you want. But I think that's plenty now. And you could be here all day and don't want that either. So mix it in. Okay. Like that. I don't need my aqua painter. Let's move that. But I have brought in a sponge dauber. So just a plain sponge dauber. And I am going to use it to pick up the colour. Like that. Now I don't want it too harsh, so I'm going to take some of it off on my scratch paper. And then I'm just going to, on the raised side, I'm just going to go over it and pick out the detail. So you can see why you don't want it too green and you want lots of that white in there. And then you've got this lovely kind of, you're picking out that brick embossing. And then just blend it all around. You can pick up the brick texture. And I think the first time I did it, I had a lot more white in it. But that's fine, it's going to be different every time, a bit like the ink splattering. Let's move those. So I've got my wall. What do you think of that? I think it's quite effective, actually. And then I'm going to stamp onto it, interestingly. I'm going to stamp onto it. Right, and I am going to stamp in, I wanted a grey. So I'm going to stamp in grey granite. Thanks, Sherry. I've done it before with a flowery one. But I did it with, I don't know, a blue, embossed the flowers, like the embossing folder, and then went over it in white, and that picked out really well. It almost looked like china. But yeah, this is fun to get your distressed wall. So I've got my grey, and I'm going to use that for my word stamps. Now, when I've done this before, when I've stamped and then I wanted to have an embossed panel, I have stamped first and then embossed it. But when I was making the card, I decided afterwards that that's what I wanted words on there. So, and then I thought, oh, that won't work. I'm going to have to redo it. But I didn't. I just did it on top and it worked. So even though you've already embossed it, you can make it work. Okay. So this is the grey. And I'm going to come up about here, sort of near the halfway down. And then I'm going to come over here a bit like we did before. It doesn't really matter. And you can see those words perfectly well, and it's stamped really well. And it might be because it's like some of the words are missing in the stamp itself. Where's the stamps? So you can see it kind of looks like that anyway, so that's probably very forgiving. Yeah, so we've got that. Now, then I have stamped and coloured in my bee. Now, ladies, I've just stamped and coloured in a bee and cut it out with you. I'm sure you don't want to see me do that all over again. But I'll show you something I did. First of all, I did it and I stamped the bee in grey granite and I coloured it in. And I've coloured, I coloured it in with a light Flirty Flamingo blend pen and a light mint macaron. And I had that one on here, but I felt it kind of disappears into the card. It's really not, doesn't pop enough. But I wanted this subtle card, but this just blended in. So I have done the flowers exactly the same, and I like that. So I am going to use those, and they're going to go on there in the same kind of layout as last time. But this one I wasn't so happy with. So I did it in black, used the same colour palette, and I feel that it works better, even though it's a contrast between these two. I feel it works, and I'm going to go for it, I think. So this is going to be my card, and it's going to go on here, and you can then see how the pink picks out. Haven't quite decided about my sentiments, so that's going to be the next thing. You can see how the flowers look like when they're stamped in the grey. Really like that. It's so much more subtle than the black. That was what I was trying to do. And you can see if you have it in the black here, which is what I did, it's quite harsh on here. So I went with the grey. Okay, did all sorts of experimenting there. Right, so I could actually stamp happy birthday here, but I think I'm going to do it on a white piece when I finish the card, or whatever sentiment you want. It doesn't have to be a birthday card after all, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So I think I'm going to stick these pieces down. I'm not putting ribbon on this one, but there's definitely room for ribbon across the bottom if you'd like a bow. A nice kind of floppy bow, which would lend itself to the style of the card, I think. You could do it in pink. Oh, now I'm thinking, maybe I should have a pink bow. I'm not going to make you endure me colouring more ribbon pink. Here we go. So there she's on. Nice and straight. That's what combo's good for. I'm going to stick this one down. Do you know what? I think we're going to see more and more and more projects across social media using this Queen Bee stamp set. I think it's going to be super popular. Let me know what you'd use it for. I was actually thinking you can get bee bombs, can't you? They're like little packets of wildflower seeds. Am I right? I don't know. Do you know what a bee bomb is? I think that's what it is. And then you would plant those wildflower seeds that would attract bees. I am thinking that's what a bee bomb is. I might be wrong. And I'm thinking this would be great to decorate one of those like bee bomb packets of seeds with. You could do some lovely packaging for flower seeds. That would be nice. I have loads of ideas for this stamp set. I'm definitely going to be using it all the way through. Right. I've popped the bee up because I like her popped up. See, I'm not going to worry about the ribbon, but you've definitely got room for a ribbon down here. And this one's going to go on here. So pretty. And we're nearly at an hour, but we've still got 10 minutes, so I will definitely not overrun today, she says. So if you like any of the goodies I've used, don't forget you can order them in my online shop, but make sure you use the host code. There's a link in the description box below that takes you through to the page that explains my host code and how it benefits you to use it if you do an online order, because I get to send you a thank you gift for ordering with me. And I love that. And obviously don't forget, if you do order, don't, make sure you get your celebration items. Right. Okay. I need to think about my sentiment. And am I going to put happy birthday on there? I was going to put some other things on this card, but time is cracking on. I was going to use these cutouts of vellum, but vellum wings. But I am thinking also, they do fit exactly, but they may obscure the beautiful flowers that I've coloured in. So maybe I would do another card, not colour it in and do that. And I was also going to use this, which I may come back and do actually, and put some little honeycomb pieces on there. So check back on my social media, because I may come back and do some and put a photo up there if you want to see what that looks like. I did cut out flowers. Oh, she's all gone flying off my machine. I cut out quite a load of these, but I wasn't quite sure if I would use them. Not sure about those. So yeah, so let's put the sentiment on. I think that's important. I think we're going to pop it down here. We'll do it in white. I've got some white scraps, because I was using vanilla, wasn't I? Right, where are you, white? I've got that great big piece of vanilla that's got ink splatters all over it. Great. I will be probably using that for more of these kind of cards. Won't get wasted anyway. So I've got a new viewer, BTEC Pass Mahi. Hello, welcome. Right, let's see, shall we? Oh, thank you, Sherry. That's very kind of you. I am going to, I don't know if I want to do a birthday card. I don't know, but as I have the set out, I should use it. Right. Just changing the plates over. It'd be a great card for any occasion, wouldn't it? Just say hello, just a note. Get well card would be lovely. Right, here we go. Label die. Pop it on there. Feels a bit stark and white, but I think it's okay. Now, are we going to stamp it in pink or in mint? What should we do, ladies? Which colour are we going to stamp it in? Do let me know what you think you'd like to see. I've got multiple blocks with bits of ink on, which is funny. Re-inkers. Happy, that's the one I want. Hello, Leslie, welcome. Leslie from Sydney, welcome. I'd love to know what the weather is like with you. Is it nice and warm? Because we're all going to be very jealous if it's lovely and warm with you. We've been talking weather this morning. Mint, Sherry says mint. Let's go for mint. Now, I hope my mint macaron is well inked. I haven't really used this colour for a while. I don't know about you guys, but I tend to colour with the seasons. And obviously in the autumn, it was all the oranges and the yellows and the browns and the greens. And then winter was Christmassy, and it was all kind of the reds, greens and golds. And then, of course, sometimes you have a little bit of icy blue and things like that, but I haven't used my mint. Let's give it a go. Yeah, that's looking good. Looking good. Right, let's do the happy. As I said before, I need to get my head right in it to line. The camera's right where my head would be if you're standing and you've got your eyes lined up with where you want your sentiment to be. Is where my camera is. You might find that if you watch people that they sometimes get their head in the shot, and it's because they're trying desperately to see what they're doing. Right. Happy. So I'm going to go the other way this time and stamp it first. Oh, yes. I like it when a plan comes together. So pop that on there, and now I can line it up in the middle so it's done well. Grab a bit of my faithful trusty washi tape. Stick it on there like that and pop it through my machine. Can I hear my dog? He's in the room with me still. He likes to craft with us. Thank you, Sherry, for being so patient. I did, didn't I? The whole internet thing is started to become an issue. My husband's a whiz with the internet. He sorts it all out, so I'll have to let him know what's been going on. But he's really good. And he's had all these combinations of routers around the house, or whatever you call them, getting it right. And now that when we're connected, it's super, super fast. But the problem is it keeps throwing me out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to pop that on here. And I'm just going to do it over the bottom of his, the bee's abdomen. I think that's what I'm going to do. And we're nearly done with this card. I'm loving it. Look at all the mess I've made. It's been a real inky morning. But then I'm covering up all that lovely writing there, aren't I? So I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, because I think that still works. Let's grab some gems. We have a selection. So I've got the brushed metallic dots. They'd be nice. I've got the basic rhinestones. I've got a few of those left. The champagne rhinestones are pretty. They might work. And then I've got the gold swirls. Gold adhesive back swirls. But I think because we've got some of that pink in the card, we're going to go with these. Oh, look, some of these have moved about. Does that annoy you, or is that just me? I like to have mine all in a row, but I might be just a bit anal. See? That's annoying, isn't it? You know, put it there. Right, okay. Let's put these on. I am a bit strange, but I think we all are a little bit. We all got our own weird foibles, haven't we? So you need to just place them where you want them to go. Don't overthink it too much, because it'll look fine. It'll all look grand. I'm definitely going to pop that bee inside again. And then hopefully I can stamp happy birthday straight. Oh, we've got half a minute left. Actually, you know, there is no timer, but I don't want the lives really to go too much over an hour, because people get bored watching you for an hour or more. Right, pop that bee in. So pretty. And then we are going back in with that happy birthday. And I'll do it in the mint to match the front. Then we're done. We've got 2 cards, and there's a lot of dies I still haven't used in this set. So I will be doing a class with it, and I will be, and it will be available online. So probably March, end of February, beginning of March, it'll be available as an online kit in the post if you live in the UK. And I'll be doing an in-person one at the end of February. So that's how my kits and classes kind of work. If you'd like to know anything, just pop me a message. Happy birthday. there we go. So we've got, I didn't make this to begin with. I just kind of played around. So I haven't got a sample to show you. I just played around with my colours. Something else quickly to show you. I tried to emboss my bee with black embossing on vellum. And I think it turned out really well. And then I coloured it on the back using the blend pens. I used Mango Melody. It's quite yellow on there, but it is the mango one. So I like that. It works really well. But I did think that actually, say you did it over another one, it would really, let me show you, if you line it up, it would really show out more. If it was on top of one that you'd coloured in, I think that would work even better. So these are the cards we've made today using the bee. Absolutely love the bee. So let's think about this. That's one is made using the very vanilla. This one is made using the shimmery white cardstock, because it's an off-white, so it's more near the vanilla than white. All sorts of stuff on my desk, and this is the one that we've just made with a mint macaron and blushing bride combination. I hope you like them. Hope you've enjoyed watching me play with ink. We've got really messy, we've done some ink splattering, we've done some sponging on our embossing folder. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, because that really helps, or you can even share it. That would be even better. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Thank you if you have joined me live today. I really appreciate you. And if you're watching me on replay, please say hello, tell me where you're from, and yeah, say hello from Tomorrowland. I would love to see where you're all from, and tell me if you like the bees and what you might do with them. Yeah, thank you, Sherry. You have a great weekend as well. And I will be back next week, next Tuesday, for Coffee and Cards Live at 1 in the afternoon, UK time. And I look forward to seeing you. If you're interested in any of the products used, as I said, you can check those out in the description box below in my online shop. And don't forget to use that host code. Thank you so much, guys. And I will see you soon. Have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.